Welcome to Trading with Larry. CPI pops out, best number of all time. Exactly what we thought was going to happen, right?
That's right.
2.7, no inflation. There you go. There you go. You have to beat. Where is the inflation? What happened? It's all gone? All gone.
You're the you're the funniest because you know it's coming. You were telling me it's coming, and it's here. So
Whatever. I didn't think the market would even have a reaction to it. I'm surprised, to say the least. Big deal. It's basically in line across the board. That's amazing, amazing. So whatever. On to the rigged stock market. Let's talk. We want to talk about it. Day 8 in a row or 9 in a row. We've had one down day in the month of January, where at the end of the month of December, we couldn't have an up day, and now they're back exploding up the market. Amazing numbers, no inflation. Wait, the Fed's cutting rate. Oh, wait, the Fed isn't cutting rates. They are cutting rates. They're not. I mean, what is it? Tell me. I mean, how can the market, other than that this is just the biggest rig of our lifetime, how can the market have a reaction like this? Honestly, I'm being dead honest. I'm just asking you.
well, what's the reaction?
The
is it
reaction is the market exploded up. I mean, it was acting really weak into the number. And now
fine,
Nasdaq, which looked,
fine exploded up? You talk about a $7,000 animal, which is the S&P. I mean, it's up what 20? Yeah, I guess
dude, I
25
don't
points.
know. You said we're going to have a 5% correction total at some point in the future. 5%. We're now up 45% in the last 3 years, and you're thinking we're only having a 5% correction? Dude,
Oh, I
literally,
was
I
kidding.
love you. This
Think
podcast,
about 5%.
I'm going to
I
be
think it's
as
going to be
kind. I'm
here.
going to be as kind as possible that in this
You
podcast,
could be as unkind as
because it
possible.
is it is
It's
just an amazing market that continues to just go up for no. Why are you laughing? It's ridiculous. The number which you and I and every single person in the United States that is trading knows, the numbers are coming in exactly in line because they're rigged by the government. Okay, the same way the permits number came out to the exact number of permits to the T, and it's a million permit number. Okay, so I know they're all excited. The number came in 0.2726. Guess what the number was last month? Tell me what you think the number was last month.
I'll be honest with you, it was probably so inconsequential to the ultimate trajectory of the market that I
Okay,
don't even
whatever you
remember.
say. What's the ultimate trajectory? Okay, we're starting up. Does that mean we're going to end up today? I don't think so. But whatever. You're in, throwaway
Exactly. Why are you
upstream.
getting worked up on a 20 point spoon move?
How am I
I
worked
mean,
up? It's every day. It's not a matter of whether it's a 20 point or a 15 point or even a 10 point. And I will agree with you. This move is tiny. I'm not saying it's big. It's just ridiculous. The
you
number,
didn't say
I'm
big.
asking
No,
you
no, no, you
again,
didn't
dude.
say big.
Dude, listen. People watching today watched yesterday. Okay. We got answers. I want answers. Okay. I'm asking you questions. Stop deflecting. Give the answers. Okay. So the answer is, what was the
All
number?
right.
The question is, what was the number last month in CPI? So we can have a discussion. What do you think
Oh,
CPI came in last month? Last month they were looking for 3.2 and 3.1. Okay.
okay.
And guess
Okay.
where the number came in? I'm just asking you to guess. All we have to do is guess. It's no big deal.
What was it? Three, 3.1.
No, 2.6, 2.7. Last month,
Yes.
2.7, 2.6. Okay. This month, they're looking for 2.7 and 2.7. Guess where the number came in? 2.7, 2.6. The exact number of last month came out this month. Do you think they
All right.
like forgot what month it is and they put the same number on it? They're like, oh, yeah, just keep putting out 2.7, 2.6. We're good. We're good. Keep putting it out. Okay. I mean, what's getting people so excited about this number this morning? Like, the market could have sold off this number easily. I mean, this number is a complete contrived rigged number, as well as everything else. And I'm asking you, you can go to Polymarket or go to whatever you want or Fed funds futures. This did not put anything into the Fed cutting rates at this meeting, unless you can show it to me that it changed anything. So why are people so excited? Just a monthly number. Just
Good
saying.
question. Good question. Earnings are usually kicked off in a bullish way. And so far, same kind of trajectory. I don't see interest rates doing much. I mean,
Good.
their bonds are a little up on the number, but
JP
whatever.
Morgan kicks off earnings. The stock was up 3 this morning. It's now up 80 cents. Okay, so I don't know what's getting everybody so excited, but we'll have to wait and see how it all plays out.
Financials look interesting, actually. We talked about it yesterday. Last week, Trump went after defense stocks. He saw Lockheed Martin drop like 10%. The next day, it's up, right, and then some. You saw him go after institutional single family home buying. Home builders dropped. The next day, they ripped, and then some. So I think he want what did he say? Interest rates capped at 10% for credit cards. Financials were all down yesterday, and if the pattern continues, financials could be an interesting 2 to 3 day buy here.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. I feel like
If the pattern,
everything,
if the pattern continues.
I'd say everything is totally taco. Everything. I mean, listen, let me ask you a question. You're sitting at your desk. Donald Trump, like he did yesterday, the best is he put out this thing where it looks like a baseball card and it lists him as president of Venezuela. Okay. This guy is off the reservation, just starting with everyone. And we've been lucky so far that China has really been quiet. And I kind of, I'm a little bit nervous about that because they're the quiet giant. We're the blundering knucklehead running around, saying we're going to kick everybody's ass, and really we never do anything.
Quiet. China's quiet. Yeah, it is. That's you and I've been talking about that about uh, a year. I don't know if you think that, but this I think is a year of geopolitical risk. I just didn't expect it to happen the first 2 weeks of January, but here we are. And
Geopolitical. I mean, literally, all I'm going to say is this: 402, Trump puts 20% or 25% tariffs on anyone dealing with Iran, and you know who that is, right? Russia and China. So he just put another 25% tariff on China, which they're in the middle of like whatever, and the market has zero reaction because you know why? They don't believe anything he says. Nothing. It's all blunder, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. More time and days that go by, it's getting worse and worse and worse. That's all I can tell you. And he's going to pull the wrong button or the wrong, trigger, and it's going to cause a major problem here. Okay. The funny thing is, he went into Venezuela just to get the guy. Then he claims we have control. No, how many oil companies are going in from the United States to Venezuela? The answer is none. None.
well, one oil company that's definitely not going is going to be Exxon.
No, there are a couple. I mean, would you put your people in there? Would you, put your people in there? That's all I could say.
Right now,
And,
no, not yet.
guess what, clown man? S&Ps are flat and Nasdaq's going red. I know you're whatever. Dude, it is a computerized joke. That number today is a joke lie. It's actually a lie. The number is a lie. That's all you got to know. This is a number put out by the government that is literally not telling you the truth. So if you want to believe that, go for it. This number is not telling you the truth, Eric. I'm just telling you, not telling you the truth. And they, going forward, will never tell the truth. And the funny thing is, let's get to another point. Let's talk about Jay Powell for a second. Okay.
Mhm.
He came after the Fed head with a DOJ basically look.
Hey, the chat wants to know. Did you call me clown man?
Yes. You don't like that?
I love it. It's just P&L speaks, baby.
Oh, I love it, dude. I'm just saying, I'm on the air with
You
you,
know,
and you're
old
literally
man.
coming. You're coming to me that we're going to correct 5% sometime in the future. Okay, sometime in the future. You have
Sometimes
literally
the
you're spawned.
distant future.
You're spawned from this no volatility, you know, market that, like you said, when the S&P. It's not a matter of the S&P being up 20 handles or 10 handles on a $7,000 instrument, which I would be honest with you, I would tell you is a tiny move. We both agree to that, right? But in the scheme of reality, when a 50 handle move blows you out of the water, or listen, you're my boy. You've been on my
Yeah,
podcast with me for.
that's why I don't like trading out of the money credit spreads in a volatility environment like this because
Well,
it's
let me ask
the
you this.
exact kind of environment to blow
Let
your
me
head off. You know that
Yeah, but
you've
it
been
it
dealing
isn't.
with that
You know
over
what?
the last couple of months.
It really isn't that type of environment. That's the thing. It's the
It is.
volatility being so no. It's the pricing being so low. Having the straddle for tomorrow. Pull up the straddle for tomorrow. Bet it's not even $40. I mean,
Uh,
literally
no, well, we went
45.
over that. It's about 45, right?
Do you
45.
see it? Can you pull the straddle? Yeah, we'll pull the straddle. But what I'm saying to you is, and you last year, okay.
42 now. 42 now. 43.
Let me ask you a question. They're making a ruling, okay, on whether tariffs are good or bad, and the straddle is $40. Is that for tomorrow?
For tomorrow. 42,
Right,
43.
right. So what is that telling you? There's nobody afraid. Dude, we're about to strike Iran, okay? Nobody's afraid of that. Nobody's afraid of anything. And you know what they'll say when it happens? Doesn't matter. Does everything doesn't matter? Doesn't matter. I mean, but to run the market the way they ran the market this morning on this number, which was so in line and so ridiculous, it's actually angering. It's angering. You think that the CPI number is 2.7 or 2.6? Do you actually think that?
I don't think CPI measures the inflation that we all feel on a day to day basis. So it's
And I
kind of
and
like
I'll agree with that. I'll 100% agree with that. That is the point. It does not measure anything real in the environment. And after what Trump did to Powell, how is Powell going to ever cut rates again? How? He gave Trump two. Did he give him three rate cuts or two? I think maybe two. He gave him
I know
two.
you say like he's kowtowing to Trump. That's why he cut. None of that makes sense at all to me.
Why?
I actually think Powell doesn't care what Trump says
Then why did he
at
cut
all
rates? Why did he cut rates?
because he's quote unquote data dependent, or he thinks
He
he
hadn't,
is.
right, but he hadn't seen any data, Eric. The government was closed for over a month and a half, 2 months. He didn't see
Mhm.
once, he didn't see any data. So when you say he's data dependent, he actually cut when the government was closed. Okay. So he saw no data. So how can you
Well,
be data
he's been
dependent?
seeing the whole trend line of data in the jobs numbers, and that's why he's been doing that to step in front of that.
But
I'm
he
not
doesn't
sure.
have the number, right? But he doesn't have the numbers. And the
I
jobs
just said
number,
he has the whole
the
trend
jobs
line of.
number, the jobs number has not ever printed negative. The jobs number has always been positive, even through this whole move. Okay. We've never had a negative jobs number. Okay. So as bad as
He
things,
wants to step in front of it.
Eric, I understand that, but we've had many times where we've had many months of negative jobs. We've had 3 months of 4 months of negative jobs. Cutting a 1/4% is doing nothing to help the jobs market, you know? And that leads me to the funniest thing I saw this morning. You ready? I'm watching TV and I don't know what show it was, but someone got in a Waymo. It's the greatest. He got in a Waymo. He's driving on the road. He's not driving. The car is driving, and it picks up tracks. It's not a railroad, but it's like trolley tracks. It picks up trolley tracks and goes on the trolley tracks, and it's driving the wrong way on the tracks. You want to get in that car? You feeling good about that? That guy who got out of that car so fast that it was unbelievable. You feel confident about that? I'm not
I
getting in
think
one of those.
when you say it, it makes me want to short AI, baby.
Dude, they can't short AI. AI is the greatest thing ever. I'm just shocked at the computer reaction to all of this stuff, and you know the rigs of the market are coming out. They haven't come out in the United States yet, but they're coming out in other countries. So the you know the the big thing, the Jane Street thing in India, right? Um, we had that thing. Um, now there's a China probe going on of ETF trading, and it's Jane Street again in China manipulating ETFs. It's pretty unbelievable. You think if they're doing it there, they might be doing it here? No? What do you think?
China. You mentioned China earlier. I think you correctly mentioned them. I think that's a risk. But what's interesting, you look at some of these Chinese names, Alibaba. I mean, these things are ripping. Just like I've been saying, a lot of stuff looks technically really nice. Does that mean you want to chase that? You want to participate in this? What kind of feels like a fake January rally to me. But it's interesting. Chinese stocks look good, and it's another year where I think emerging markets and foreign markets are starting off the year outpacing the U.S. That was
You know,
actually called early last year. I think you completely probably even forgot you made that call, but you did call uh, emerging markets outperforming the U.S., Europe outperforming the U.S. That's a trend that's continuing. What do you think about that?
I think it's actually freaking me out between the numbers that are coming out that are actually how people are okay with getting numbers that are doctored by the administration. Okay, I don't know how everybody's okay with that, and the people putting out the numbers have to put out good numbers because he'll fire you if you don't put out numbers. I think that is crazy, but I think what's even crazier is what you said before. So last year, at the beginning of the year, Europe outperformed the US massively. We were struggling, we couldn't get out of our own way, and they were exploding. Now, this year, the same thing is happening. The DAX is exploding up, okay? And our markets are going up, but begrudgingly. Like we're up barely over 1% for the year. We could be down. I know you don't think it could ever happen, but we could be down today. We could be down. We could, reverse easily, and be doing nothing. So what I see is if you overlay last year's trading to this year, okay, if you overlay last year's trading to this year's trading, it's identical. We started out the year up 1.5%. We were up 8 out of 9 days. Today will be the 8 out of 9 days. We've had one tiny down day on the year. Listen, as we're on the podcast, I mean, that seems to be, markets are back to the flat line. I don't understand how the computers can run uh, this way. You know,
So, what is the trade, Larry, for
the,
today?
the trade is to basically, sit tight. Things are going to happen here. I think the market, I know we're going to go up 18. We'll have 20 trading days. We'll be up 19 out of the 20 trading days and be up 1% for the month. I mean, something doesn't feel right. And like when I stare into the camera and I see you on the other side, it reminds me
Mm-hmm.
you haven't said anything about this in months. Your big one sigma move. Every day we're on this podcast, you're like, one sigma this and one, dude, we haven't had one sigma anything, okay, especially to the downside. So that makes me leery that things look a little, I would say, skittish, and nobody's talking about downside. Everybody's talking about upside. They're talking about, you know, people are sending me gold and silver charts every single day saying how much money they're making. I mean, silver went from 50. People are like, oh, it's going to get to 80. Now it's 90. I know it's going to 500. It's going to that. It's, it's actually,
Maybe,
it's actually,
maybe.
of course, dude, of course. I
You know,
know.
the angrier you get about silver and gold, the more I want to buy it, actually.
Dude, I am not angry. You think I'm angry? I'm so not angry. And I lost small. I didn't even lose big on it. Okay. And I haven't even put a full position on or not even close. But I'm just saying listen, it's a product of the environment. I'm gonna be as kind as I could be. Okay.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
and and the bottom line is the product of the environment.
Gold going up, gold and silver going up, which nobody under 50 ever wants to trade, is a product of the environment.
What are you talking about? Every Bitcoin guy is out of Bitcoin and in silver and gold. Where have you been? Okay. It's the biggest retail owned thing out there. Nobody is talking. When was the last time you heard about Bitcoin? I think they delisted it. No one's talking about Bitcoin. It doesn't move. Now they're in the crazy land. They all they're looking for is memes. They want memes to run crazy so that they can make a fortune. And they talked about Bitcoin every single day. Come on, our podcast last year covered Bitcoin top to bottom, and you did the same damn thing you're doing today about Bitcoin when I told you the thing was ridiculous and it was going to crash, and it crashed. And this is going to crash. And this crash, Bitcoin top to bottom was 40%. This will be bigger. Okay. This down move will be bigger, way bigger. I'm not saying when it's coming. It's not coming probably today or who knows when, but it's coming the same way Bitcoin came. And every day I had to listen to you last year tell me I would never sell Bitcoin no matter what ever, da 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 da. And then the thing crashed. And you have not talked about Bitcoin in months. I'm just letting you know you haven't. Every day we talked about it. Okay. It's a broken thing. The same way the memers are going to get broken here. So when you say nobody below 50 is trading silver and gold, you're on drugs, man. Okay. Everybody's in this thing. Everybody that was trading Bitcoin is trading silver and gold. Well, I'm going to turn my phone around. I can show you text from people every single day about silver and gold. Oh, more silver than gold, more silver than gold because
Any of them under 50?
they're all under 50. It's all freaking
Oh,
kids. Yeah. What do you mean? You think the people trading Bitcoin are trading Bitcoin? I'm just
do I
wondering
think
what
the
you think. Hmm?
I don't know. I don't slice and dice the market by demographic like that. You know.
Eric, I don't either. I'm not saying that I do. What I'm saying to you is, do you understand? They need stocks that go from 5 to 50. They need commodities, which they never were in commodities, which they're going to learn a very large lesson at some point. Okay. Because commodities, and you've traded them for years and years and years, can crush you, literally crush you. Right. So they're going to learn lessons here in my book. Okay. And, it is a meme. Silver is a meme. Okay. How could it
Tell you
not?
one thing. I'll tell
Time
you
out.
one thing
How could
about
it not be a meme? It's up more this year in 6 trading days than the stock market's made in the last 2.5 years in 6 days. Okay. So I don't know. You think that's normal action? People are going to make 25% in 3 days
commodity
on a
for
commodity?
a commodity for a commodity in backwardation. I think it's pretty freaking normal.
Okay, dude. Whatever
Don't
you
you? Why don't you think it's normal?
Eric, silver stayed
Well, for
between,
commodity backwardation,
silver
do that.
stayed between $2 and $50 for 60 years. Okay.
You act like you've never seen a commodity do this.
I have not seen a commodity do this. I have not. I mean,
You haven't watched commodity.
maybe natural gas. Maybe you can equate that to
Maybe
the,
natural gas.
yeah, maybe.
And the thing about commodities, it'll do that in both ways. You haven't seen oil go from 120 to 20 to back up to when it went negative. It went negative, and then how many percent up did it go?
Eric,
Look at the
that
cocoa
negative
market
timeout.
last
That
couple of years.
negative timeout. I want people to understand because you're spewing out stuff. Okay. Crude oil, which I
Facts.
traded size during that time, okay, traded negative in the front month. And you want to talk about a curve, okay? The bottom line is no other month was negative or even close, okay? And the back months were $50, okay, and $40. All right.
Well,
So that
commodities
that
do this all the
that was
time.
an
This is
oversupply. Listen, that was an oversupply issue. Okay. But crude oil, okay, which I happen to like, and is trading up above $60. I happen to like it. I don't, I think there's a little bit of a war premium or a bombing premium. So we're long it at the opportunistic trader. We may sell half the position today, up really good money, and then hold half just to maybe get lucky that something crazy happens. But, but no, I don't listen. I don't see like mainstream commodities really doing this. And listen, I traded oil very heavily for years and years and years. And oil went from 60, okay, maybe 70 to 130 or 140, which was the high, right? That's a
okay.
doubling. That's a doubling. Silver has more than quadrupled in the
Okay, I
last
don't look.
year and a half.
It's
Okay.
not a good. It's not a good example. There are hundreds of examples of commodities doing much crazier things
Okay, and
than
then
what
let
silver.
me ask you a question. All the commodities that did that or do that, whether it's beans in the teens or whatever, where did just for the people out there, okay, where did they end up?
At the end of the day,
Yeah,
at the end of the
dead ass
yeah,
lower, dead ass lower. Okay, so bottom line is the supply or whatever comes back in and takes out the speculators, and that is the same thing that's going to
yeah. The
happen.
problem with silver, I agree. That's actually a good point. But the thing with silver, it's one of the most inelastic commodities out there. You can't just easily replace it. I know people talk about replacing it with copper if it gets too big, but that decision point will only like
Dude,
people
I
that
just want you. I just want you. You're on the air, okay? Just like in
Mhm.
Bitcoin, we're gonna do the same thing, bull man. Okay, silver's at $88. Where do you think silver's gonna be a month and a half from today? Month and a half, dude. It's just a
I
number.
think
Throw it out there, baby, because I'm gonna have this time stamped.
yeah, I think it hits
150,
95.
100. You know, they were talking 80 as the
I'll tell you
open.
what, I think it'll hit 100 before it hits 60.
Okay, okay. I go the other way. And I actually think you're going to see limit down days, multiple days in a row in silver when it happens. I'm not saying it's happening today,
Well,
but
you're only going to go the other way because there's something about trend that really bothers you.
yeah, trend never lasts, except except in a meme market takes the trend and exacerbates the trend because it's massive speculation in the market. So yes, I am a mean reversion trader. It's worked for years and years and years, okay? And it will continue to work for years and years and years, okay? You can catch the trend if you're fast enough. But let me ask you this: what talent does it take to catch the trend? Like I'm just trying
That's
to
a very
understand.
good. So that's a great question, right? That's, I think, a trading philosophy question. I was actually thinking about that the other day, trend versus reversion. And you know how, like, I pull up factors? Sometimes you have value, you have growth, all these factors everyone knows. Momentum, aka trend following, is a persistent factor in the market. Mean reversion is not a persistent factor in the market that people can just rely on. That's why, momentum uh, is called an embarrassment to the theory of efficient markets. One of my favorite quotes out there about momentum. It's something that a
Listen,
lot of people explain, but I think it persists a lot more
but
than
I'm
reversion.
just trying to understand what okay, so silver, dude, this is the problem with the market and the anatomy of what I'm saying is a bubble. And I'm telling you, I'm sitting here today and I think that the market is so frothy and so
I agree.
overdone that
I don't know
no,
why
no,
you say
in everything, dude. People I know, my friends have bought stocks at $1. They're like $18. They don't want to sell them. They think they're going to go up forever. Listen, I'm doing a webinar that I'm recording this week, basically talking about the similarities between this market today that we're in and the Nifty 50. Okay. That was the greatest thing of all time. Same as this. Dude, this is crazy. I'm just telling you, it's crazy. They come up with reasons, every other day the Fed's cutting rates. Now the Fed is completely off the table. And you've come on this podcast millions of times and said, oh, the Fed's going to cut rates and that's good for the market. The Fed's going to cut rates. Now the Fed's not cutting rates. Why is that bad? Why is that not bad for the market? The Fed is out of the market for the next 6 months.
I
Why
think
is that
when
not bad for the market?
the anticipation of the Fed cutting rates initially is good for the market, and then it gets priced in really quick, and then they don't care about it until the
I
next rate
understand,
cut.
but now the Fed is not cutting rates. They are not cutting rates for the next 6 months, basically. 100% not cutting rates. So what
JP
happens?
Morgan's views
What
that they
happens
won't
if
cut at all this
what?
year. JP Morgan's views that they won't cut at all this year.
I understand that, but what if things, I mean, listen, they can change that view in one day, the same way me and you can, okay? But the thing that I'm looking at that doesn't make any sense, okay, is the way that the market reacts. Like the market, oh, every guy I talk to, oh, the Fed's going to cut rates. The Fed's out now. How come if the Fed is out, that it doesn't have a negative effect on the market, but when the Fed is supposedly in cutting rates, it has a positive effect? I mean, listen, the market,
Look, don't forget, we're still in the afterglow of the new year. The new year starts, everyone's happy. Um,
wait, they were happy, but the end of the year they were unhappy. They in a market that was up for the year, they sold the crap out of it for the last 4 days of the year. And
right.
and let me point this out for the people out there that are watching. Okay. Yeah, they're jamming up, stocks, and you can tell they're getting out of technology to buy something else. And it's always, like my friend and I joke every day, if Tesla is up, Meta's down. If Meta's down, Tesla's up. If Nvidia's down, Apple's up. It's always rotating into something. Okay, but we've traded it for so many years. There's going to be a point in time where everything is down. Okay. Same way some days everything is up, but we don't see
So
that. And
you
you don't
like to pin me down. You like to pin me down. I'm going to pin you down right now. When is that going to happen? Isn't it?
sooner than you think.
No, 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 no. Tell us
Sooner
a
than
date.
you think.
Tell us a date.
Within
Approximate.
wait, you're only looking for a 5% correction at
No,
some
no, no.
point
I was
so
joking
far in
about.
the
I
future.
was kidding. 5%. I think it's going to be bigger. You know that. I'm not participating in this January rally. My whole strategy trading this month is
Time
sitting
out.
back,
Stop.
scalping
January,
ranges. I'm
time
just
out.
waiting.
I want to understand what the January rally is. The market's up a
I don't know
percent.
what it is. I have no idea what it is, but I
Well, what
know
do you
it's
mean?
there.
You just said the market's having a
I
January
know I have to
rally.
be a part of it. I don't have to participate in every rally. if
Eric,
you're
Eric, I'm not saying you do, but you're saying this is like a rally. The market, how much is the S&P up for the month? 1.5%, 1%, 30? I mean, come on. It's
you
a
say the market goes up every day.
The
Now
market
you're
does go up every. What are you talking about? I say it. The fact is, we have nine. This is, I think, the 10th trading day. And if we're up today, it's the ninth day in 10 days. So we are up every day, but we happen to only be up 1%. And it actually, right. Dude, the S&P, which is great, start is up 1.4. Okay. I mean, come on, dude. Let me ask you a better question.
exactly. That's
If,
not. I don't know where you're.
let me ask you a better question. Okay. Ready for the better question? Okay. If 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 China goes in or threatens to go into Taiwan, how much you think the market will be down on that?
Say that again.
If China goes into Taiwan or makes overtures that they're going in and that they're taking it, how much do you
Mm.
think the S&P will be down? Just or you probably think it'll be up.
No, no. That situation, it will definitely not be up. You got to start discussing limit down. I think.
Yeah, we'll be down over 10%. So
Yeah,
I think that's out there. I think that's out there. I think there's a lot of stuff out there that the market is disregarding, and it's actually disheartening to see the straddle at $40 for tomorrow. It's actually disheartening. No, it's not
tomorrow will
disheartening to
be
you.
interesting. Tomorrow, like the straddle for last Friday on Thursday, everyone thought we would get the Supreme Court decision last Friday. Thursday, you and I looked at the straddle. We're like, it's 45. That's kind of low.
Well, wait,
And
but
the
45.
market, right,
Right.
right,
No. This is what happened last Friday. Okay. Last Friday, everyone thought we were getting the decision. Okay. The market did not think that. Okay.
right.
That's why we sat here and
Right.
said something doesn't make sense. So the market knew. Okay. But I would say there's a 95% chance the ruling's coming tomorrow and nobody cares. And
Right.
and what's scary about that to me is Trump is saying and listen, he's the master of, whatever. He's saying it's a financial calamity if they overthrow the tariffs and it's going to, crash the market and it's this and that. He's scaring them. But I mean, that's what's really disheartening. And the $40 straddle, Eric, isn't for one day, that's for 2 days. I've never seen a straddle that low. That's as low as I've seen a 2 day straddle. So it's almost like the opposite. So, like, what is going on here? Why? And then the funny thing is, last night, the S&P out of the gate was down like 15 points because of these BS things that Trump said. I, I'm lost, and, it's almost like, I mean, listen, I hate to use the word I don't hate it. I use it all the time. It's rigged. It's like I'm looking at my Bloomberg and every number is in line. Month over month CPI 3.3, looking for point 0.3, comes in point 0.3. Core CPI month over month, looking for point 0.2, point 0.3, comes in point 0.2. Month over month CPI comes in at 2.7, looking for 2.7. My question to you is, why'd the market rally so much if every number just came in exactly where it was? I mean, and the numbers aren't correct. I mean, do you see any difference? Like, I just see, this is, it's just crazy.
I don't even see enough to even discuss it further because it's such a small move and it's such a textbook move off of the CPI. You get the initial reaction, the algos, jam it up, they jam it down.
Right. No, they
And
did not jam it. They never jam it down. We have never sat here, okay, especially this year, and been down 30 well, we were down 30 overnight last night, but they took that right back on the opening. Okay. There's an algo I see every day on the opening. They just buy the market and they run it, they run it up. Maybe it won't come today, but it's every day. What I'm saying to you is, you're the master of the one sigma move. I'm calling you one sigma. Every day last year you were talking about where the one sigma move comes in and blah blah blah. Are you talking about one sigma move? It's not even in your thought process. Honestly. I'm
It
not.
isn't. It's in my thought process every day because I think these levels are the market is very sensitive to these levels. So these levels are always on my charts. I'm always watching them. We
I
haven't really
understand,
had
but we
one
don't talk about them. You,
because
you,
there's
yeah,
no vol. There's no vol at
right?
all.
But how? But how though? That's what I'm saying. How do you go to no vol? Okay, but yet every day we're moving 50 handles intraday, 40 handles every day. Every day we're not going anywhere, but we're moving 40, 50 handles every single day. And the bottom line is they want to jam up the market. You could see what's going on here. They're buying S&P, okay, every day and selling Nasdaq, or buying Nasdaq and S&P and selling Dow, and then buying Dow and buying S&P. And the thing is, do you know how far away? Let's look at some stocks, okay? Okay, let's look at Meta. Let's look at Nvidia. Let's look at Microsoft. Let's look at like every stock. These stocks are so far from their high that it's going to be hard to even get close to that, right? I mean,
You mentioned Microsoft. I think it's been struggling around its 200-day moving average and kind of looks pretty bad. Nvidia, you look at over the last few months, hasn't done anything. Palantir, I mean, there's stuff that's not being bought that was the darling of Wall Street the first half of last year.
yeah, yeah.
So, what are you looking at for today? Any levels in particular? Any kind of SPX trade right off the bat?
No. Nothing really. I mean, I talk to Clint every day. We look for trades for our S&P spread trader product. We're up on the year decently. We're picking our spots. I just can't sell $20 out of the money, put and call for $1.50 right now. I just can't. And
Well, 7,000 SPX calls are trading at four right now. At
okay,
four.
okay, yeah, but you have to do a spread. Where is the SPX 15s?
125.
Okay, so you can maybe get $3. That's probably not a bad do. I mean, I don't understand. They're pricing the straddle so low. Like I can't imagine. I mean, I just don't know. I don't know what's going on. Like, I mean, literally everybody is okay just sitting long. And listen, if you're long Nvidia right now, right? If you're long Nvidia right now, how good are you feeling? I'm just asking, how good are you feeling?
I just said it. It's been flat for months, right? You're kind of looking around and you're like, what happened
The
to
only thing you have going in your favor with Nvidia is Jensen lies about the earnings and will never say anything negative. Okay, so you're okay like that. It used to be the CEOs with the opposite. The CEOs, like Steve Jobs, as the CEO, always downplayed what was going on at Apple. Okay, and the bottom line is he was real and he was able to basically um, basically tell the truth. These other guys don't tell the truth, and it's just strange. Like, do you think Jensen Wang would ever come on and say things are slowing down or he sees anything negative? I mean, honestly, I'm being dead honest. Like,
No, I don't, not him.
right, that's what I'm saying. And that's the problem with the market is that the guy will never tell the truth. I mean, the market's going to tell the truth eventually, but he won't. And Nvidia is an amazing stock because I traded it, haven't traded it really, traded it yesterday a little bit to the long side, got out. I have no position in it, probably won't trade it for a while till it, if it breaks lower. But I would just say this. I started trading Nvidia last year. It was trading at $140. They got the H20 chips um, approved to sell to China. The stock went from 140 to 160, Eric. Okay. Because they were supposed to get approval. They never did. Okay. Then they said H200s and the stock went to 180, 190 and then exploded even more. Okay. But there hasn't been even one chip sold to China. So how how could the stock be at these levels? How could they make numbers to sustain these levels when they're not even selling any chips to China? I mean, I'm just wondering. And then, there was a time last week or early this week they said memory, flash memory, there is none. So how are they able to put together machinery if they don't have all the products to go in the machinery? It's like building a car. So I don't know. I mean, we'll have to see. But market, is skewed to the upside. Today we're starting day 9 of 10 up again. So we're up again. And we'll see how it goes. And we're eventually going to see some skittishness. It's just the disrespect for the options is something I've never seen. And I've been trading options for 42 years. Actually, more than that. 40, yeah, 42, 43 years. Okay. I've First of all, there's options on everything. Like it used to not be like this. Now they got zero DTE, this, leverage, that, this, that. You know, SIBO volume is up by 10x. So everybody's trading them. There are a lot of people that don't really know about them, and just trade them every day. There was a guy out there. I don't know did you read the story? I don't know if it's even true, but supposedly it's true of this Captain Condor. Did you ever read about that guy?
Captain Condor.
You don't know who that guy
That's
is? Go read
yeah,
about
I
him. That
should. That's right up my
Captain
alley.
Condor had a following of guys, and they were selling iron condors, your favorite thing,
That is
and
my favorite.
they martingaled the trade, which means if they lost, they doubled. If they lost, they doubled. If they lost, they doubled. Okay. The guy blew over $100 million selling iron condors. So,
It
that's what
happened.
you got out there. And he's got a following in a chat room. People are following him. And all the market does is it finds the trade. Jane and Ken find the trades, and then they blow the people out of the water. That's the market.
That's what I always found amazing in this industry, the newsletter industry, is you can lose and be wrong and wrong, and you can still make a lot of money just selling your opinions out there. I think it's a crazy crazy kind of industry.
Well, I kind of disagree with you. Okay. I've seen it firsthand. If you don't make money, you lose your product. I mean, you have to make your subscribers money. You have to be good at this. Our newsletter has never had a product in a year down money. Okay. We've made money for our subscribers. So that's why I believe we have a loyal following and we have a lot of subscribers. But there are a lot of guys out there that can't make money. How do you think a newsletter is going to survive if you're losing money? It's like a trading account.
Sell them the dream, baby. Just sell them the dream.
Well, listen, you can sell a longer term dream, but if you put everybody into technology stocks, right? And technology corrects 30, 40%, whatever dream you had became a nightmare, right? So you have to be slightly right on timing, especially, one thing about the newsletter business that I'm in, with the people that do this is we're putting out real-time trades to your inbox that get time-stamped and get audited by KPMG. So there's no way. I mean, there are a lot of guys out there saying, "Oh, I made $10 million. I made $1 million." The bottom line is, the stuff is real here. So,
You
that's
have a webinar coming up on Thursday. You want to tell us about it a little bit?
Yeah, basically, it's a webinar. It's called Get Rich Slow, which is something that we believe in. And it's basically taking advantage of, option trading the way that we do it. And, obviously, we talked a lot about, premiums being low. So, this is a good time, but not the greatest time for this strategy. But we've been able to chop out money consistently in this strategy of using options and taking advantage of premium, and doing it in a slow, methodical way. Like, listen, if we back up to March of
That's
last
a
year.
that's a funny title for the webinar. Get rich slow in a culture that is just trying to get rich quick.
What do you mean? They love the market. They love the market. They love it. I mean, you gotta listen. You know what they do? They come in the morning, whoever these guys are, and they look for the thing that's up the most, and they trade it. That's all they do. If X is up the most, they trade it. If Y is up the most, they trade it. They just continue to trade, and all they're looking for is grand slam home runs. I mean, that's not the way. Listen, we want to do this for the next. Hopefully, I'm alive for the next 30 years. We want to just do what we do, and we're not looking for the next great you know thing that's happening. Listen, there are people on this podcast right now. All they do is they look for something that's moving, really fast, and they just jump in. They try to make a couple of grand or whatever, and then they move on. That's not really the way we were built. We're basically trading the same things. I think it's important to become an expert in what you're trading. I always recommend, and I always did this when, I managed a lot of traders, is trade like one industry group, become an expert, and, move on from there. And, that's sort of, what I see. And, I want to get close to wrapping. But, when you come in and you see a straddle, where's today's straddle? I mean, it's probably under $30. It's just craziness.
Yeah, it's like 20, 23, 25.
I mean, that's just an amazing. What? It's 21, dude. I mean,
Yeah, higher. Yeah.
dude, that is literally 25 basis points for the day. I mean, that doesn't freak you out? 25 basis points
If
for the
the straddle being that low and the 7,000 calls therefore kind of seem a little high. I mean, they're trading at 5 now with such a low straddle. Makes me want to kind of look for. I think the way the market is shaping up, that strike's going to be in play. So I'm like eyeing the 70 10s.
If you
You
think that strike is going to be in play, why don't you just sell a bunch of put spreads that are below the market? Like, why do you even want to
because
bother with something you think is
premium
going to be in play? Doesn't
the
make any sense.
premium on the premium on the puts is like,
What is the 60 put?
yeah, the 60 puts aren't even. They're trading at 320, dude.
All right, sell
60.
70. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing in anything.
I'm gonna put out limit orders on 69.50s if I get them, and 70 10s.
Hmm.
Try to get some premium in there. The market is gonna try to do something. I'm gonna get something on one of those.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. It's just unbelievable. It's actually unbelievable. You don't find it to be unbelievable.
No, I don't.
Okay. All right. Listen, we're going to go. You got Straddle's trading at $20 okay, for an entire day of trading on a $7,000 product, and you don't find that unbelievable. I don't know what unbelievable would be. Okay,
Um, it's
let's shake it down to this, and then we'll go. Okay, let's take a zero off the 7,000. Okay, that's a $700 stock. Guess what? With a $2 straddle. Would you trade a $700 stock with a $2 straddle? Or how about going to a $70 stock that's a 20-cent straddle? I mean, that 20 cents. I mean, come on. This is loony land. We are in loony land. And there's going to be
yeah. This is why I'm not participating in January's rally because exactly what you said. I don't like where vol is. You know, I don't
I
like
wouldn't
where.
even call it I wouldn't even call it a January rally. I mean, it is a rally, but it's a January rig. It's like if we're going to move 22 basis points today, isn't that a rig? We'll move 11 basis points tomorrow. Yesterday we were up 8 basis points. The next day we'll be up 30 basis points. I mean, I don't know. And like they're like, oh, bank earnings. Like JP Morgan's earnings were whatever. Okay. They weren't great in any means whatsoever. Okay. They were not great earnings. Okay. They made the number because of trading revenue. So anyway, we're really close to the opening. A lot to talk about. It's frustrating that the straddle is literally, I'm not even BSing you, is it zero? Okay, and the amount of disrespect for options is at record highs. And it's actually, what do we do? Like, let me ask you this before we go, because we have 1 minute and we're going way too late. Like, you think if they overthrow the tariffs, it's a non-event? I'm just asking. Do you think it's a non-event?
I think it's an event.
I'm just saying. And the straddle is going to be $30 tomorrow. So good luck today. Be careful out there. It's a little skittish. They have them up again for the ninth day in a row, or 9 out of 10. One down day in the month of January. So I would be careful out there, and let's see. There's not a lot to do because you can't sell premium too low. Talk to you guys. Everyone have a great trading day. Enjoy.